Okay, well, another video of him giving an angry rant about Raw. Now, we're all pissed off at what happened with AJ versus Dominik Mysterio, but I think I know the answer of why he lost. But let's just go into this review and see what CJAX has to think about it while he go through this rant.
Well, another Raw and more complete and utter garbage, okay? After trash in Paris yesterday, you would think that maybe the Raw following up would at least be better, or maybe do something unique, something exciting. But of course, this Raw did absolutely nothing to move the needle. We had the same repetitive garbage segments over and over again, the same matches. And the thing is about these matches, because there's so many issues with this, right? But the way that Triple H formulates this show, he formulates it so that nothing really matters. None of these matches lead to anything. It's all monotony. Like, for example, Penta came to the WWE. What has he done since coming to WWE other than fighting in the mid-card and undercard? What has he done? Please, can someone tell me how has Penta been elevated? What has changed? All he does is come out and wrestle mid-carders or undercard jobbers. That's all that he does. Finn Balor, all he's done this year, him and JD McDonough on the Judgment Day, just fight mid-carders or undercarders every single week. Roxanne Perez, Pin Perez, as I'm going to start calling her, has been getting pinned week after week after week. She's supposed to be the quote-unquote prodigy, the future of the women's industry, the women's wrestling industry. But of course, she gets pinned every single week, and now she's getting tapped out. She'll get pinned. It's the same stuff. This is embarrassing. Why would I care that Jey Uso and LA Knight are in a promo together when they have nothing of substance to actually offer or to say? If LA Knight comes out like he does in the promo and he basically talks about, I'm tired of losing, I want to be world champion, he's not going to win the world title. So what is he complaining about? Like, it's over at this point. And then Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, this vision, the faction, is atrocious. Everybody wants it to end. And the problem is you want your heels to be like heels that are obviously going to get booed and have heat, but also that you low-key are entertained by. Like Roman Reigns was as a tribal chief. You know what I'm saying? He was the heel that everyone loved to hate. You get me? That's the type of heel that you want. Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, you know what I'm saying? Besides the music they sing for this guy and all this stuff and the actual faction itself, they are about to get go-away heat. Becky Lynch already has go-away heat because at this point, she's just annoying. Like, I'm sorry to say it, but this character is just annoying at this point. And it's not about, oh, well, she's doing a great job as a heel. No, it's not that. It's the fact that we are genuinely, like, what she's doing is not entertaining and it's getting boring and old. We're not hating her because of what her character is doing. We're hating because this actual character and gimmick that she's doing it's just not good. Like, it's not entertaining. Nobody's entertained by this. And because of that, they're going to start to get go-away heat. We know in 2019 when they tried to run the Rollins and Becky stuff at the top of the company, we saw how that worked out. The tanking viewership, just like viewership tanks now. The only time they get a ratings boost is if Roman shows up. But still, you started off the year at 6 million global, and now globally, hundreds of millions of people with Netflix, 300 or 400 million, however many million, and only 2.6 million consistently tune in to watch this show. But I'm supposed to believe that this is peak and amazing content, but millions of people in droves are tuning out. It's just, look, the company's in shambles, all right? This episode, there's nothing to talk about, so I might as well just talk about whatever I want to because nothing happened on the show. We can breeze through 90% of this stuff immediately. AJ Styles not winning the IC championship in the place of France. Well, he's never going to get a reaction like this again, and they had him lose the belt because El Grande Americano Ludwig Kaiser is getting involved. Ludwig Kaiser was just fighting Dominik Mysterio in a AAA championship match like a few weeks ago, I'm pretty sure. So it's just, none of this makes any sense. It's absolutely ridiculous. But of course, we have to act like it's good, or we don't have to act like it's good, but people are going to continue to try and convince you that this stuff is decent. It's not decent. This is awful content. It is as simple as that. These shows every week, it's the same stuff happening. So let's just get into it. And as a quick side note, I do want to bring up the fact of two things, okay? Number one is that Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky for the World Championship has been confirmed for WrestlePalooza. Now, I remember yesterday in the video, I think it was, or maybe my SmackDown review, where I literally said they could easily have added on Stephanie Vaquer's World Heavyweight Championship match onto the Clash in Paris card yesterday. By far, like, there's no reason they couldn't have at least put that on and replaced the Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella match. You know what I'm saying? And that way it would have been even more shocking when Becky Lynch showed up potentially. But when you have a situation where Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky, they could have thrown anything out there for the Women's World title, and they literally announced on a random episode of Raw that that's the match we're just going to get. We're just going to get the match. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so stupid, man. They give you the bare minimum effort for every little thing. Triple Fraud sucks at his job, bro. On top of this, I have to acknowledge the fact that nothing inside of this show makes sense. And this is just how it is for Raw and SmackDown, that I have to just acknowledge this real quick, right? Every single Raw or SmackDown, for example, now, if you actually think with logic in actual sense while watching the show, you're not going to like the show. Even if you're just watching it for enjoyment, you're probably not going to like it either. Hence why millions of people have already tuned out from this garbage product. But the point is this. For some odd reason, yesterday Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker destroyed Roman Reigns and destroyed Jey Uso. Both of them were fully healthy when this happened. And all of a sudden, LA Knight injured and an injured Jey Uso think that they can beat Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed together while injured in the main event of Raw. And that is the best possible storyline they put out for the main event of Raw tonight. Do you understand how stupid that is? It's none of that makes any sense. On top of that, Jey Uso and LA Knight open up the show talking about how they want to beat up Seth Rollins. They want to fight Seth Rollins. And they want to destroy Seth Rollins. And all of a sudden, when Seth Rollins comes out to talk to Punk and his back is turned, they could have easily beat him up and they don't show up at all. Then you have CM Punk. CM Punk could have just left the ring and ran out to go fight Seth on the ramp. He stands there and takes these slaps from Becky Lynch. It's just, none of this makes any sense. It does not work. It's just the logic on these shows. Like I said, again, I'm just going to say it again and leave it at this. If you think while watching these shows, you're not going to be able to enjoy any of this stuff because it's illogical garbage booking. It makes no sense. It's not entertaining and it's stupid. And another problem that we have as well, because your boy is not done, you know what I'm saying? Another issue that we have is yesterday, remember when Rollins before the main event was like, I never needed division. I don't need division currently. I don't need Paul Heyman and I never needed their help. And if I can't defend this championship on my own successfully, then I should not have it. Now you fast forward tonight and Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker are still sitting there in aid of Seth Rollins fighting for nothing. For nothing, man. It makes absolutely no sense. They should be breaking away from Seth Rollins, and as soon as Heyman comes back, Braun and Brunson should be spearing this dude and tsunamiing him 5 times and writing him off of TV. There's no reason why 2 up-and-coming young superstars, allegedly the future of WrestleMania, are okay with sitting in subservience and doing mindless hive mind bot work and for nothing, literally to no avail, while this dude who's literally the world champion is saying he never needed them and he doesn't need them. He essentially doesn't even really care for them at this current moment. It is stupid. It's unacceptable at this point, man. There's no other reason. There's nothing else to say about it at this point, bro. I'm sorry. We basically start off with Jey Uso coming out. Jey Uso basically comes out to the ring and says that he loves his family and he fights for them. Fun note, I just want to say, you know what I'm saying, a little fun fact. The funny thing is, Jey Uso, after yesterday, right, he comes out today, he's got the little injured ribs and all that stuff. It was like 2:15 or 2:10 when people actually started speaking. The WWE Raws and SmackDowns, they don't start until 10 to 15 minutes into the actual show, and it's embarrassing. It's the same stuff. We watch people walking out with their coffees and their libations, and they walk in the backstage and they play the Travis Scott song or whatever it is, and they get into the actual arena. This is not entertaining. Maybe try starting off the show with a wrestling match, or maybe a creative backstage brawl or a segment or something. Have a concurrent storyline, something new, something unique. Give some effort, but it's the same phoned in formulaic trash. We watch people walk in with the coffees in their hand, they dance for a little camera reel, and then we start off with an entrance. The person then comes out on the mic. This case is Jey Uso. He says he loves his family. Roman got, and now he has to fight for his family, and so he wants Rollins and Brunson and Braun to come out and get beat down. You know what I'm saying? Or get yeet down, whatever the heck he said. Then LA Knight comes out and basically says that Jey Uso ruined his opportunities of winning the match yesterday at multiple points inside of the match, as if LA Knight didn't launch himself through a table that nobody was on. But we'll just forget about that. LA Knight basically says he's tired of not being world champion and he's tired of losing, and he thinks it's absolutely ridiculous that he hasn't been a world champion yet. Well, so do I. But unfortunately, the longer that triple fraud decides not to give LA Knight a championship, he's going to continue to fall into the ocean of obscurity. And that is eventually what's going to happen to LA Knight. As much as I hate to say it, it's on its way to being that point. Everything LA Knight's saying now is just falling on deaf ears. He's not going to win anything. He's not going to be a world champion. And because of that, none of this matters. Everything he says does not matter until he actually feuds for something that it actually feels like we have a belief that he could potentially win it. But until that happens, it's over for this guy. I'm sorry. Then after this, what's it called? Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker come out. LeBron James duo comes out, and you really get...
Wait, I thought he was suspended.
Reminded of the fact that literally a month and a half ago, remember the mission of the Vision was to wipe out Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and Penta, extinguish them as a problem, and then they beat up Sami and Jey for weeks. Sami went to SmackDown, Penta stopped feuding with them, and Jey Uso got beat down, and somehow they're all still feuding, or Jey Uso, is still feuding with these guys. It's the same thing. Then Braun Breaker basically says he has 2 brain cells, but he somehow beat LA Knight twice. Yeah, that was a little funny line, I'll give him that. But that's the point. That's the problem. problem. Every single thing on Raw or SmackDown is a rematch. Why am I watching Braun Breaker fight LA Knight if he's already beat him twice? Why am I watching Jey Uso fight against Braun Breaker if they've already fought 4 different times? Plus the tag match at SummerSlam with him and Roman versus Braun and Brunson, that's 5 times. Plus the match he had versus Brunson Reed on Raw last month, that's the time they fought, and they fought again at SummerSlam. It's the same combination of matches. It's the same combination of wrestlers, and nothing is being advanced or developed. It's uncreative, it's lazy, it's bad booking, and it's not entertaining, man. It's as simple as that. So I don't care what Braun and Brunson have to say on the mic, acknowledge your tribal thief, and then what's it called? After they're basically done talking, they combine them all together, and LA Knight and Jey Uso, all of a sudden, they started off the promo at odds because LA Knight was upset with Jey Uso. Then they end the segment saying, yeah, and yeet, 4 letters, 1 word, yeah, yeet, no, this sucks. How about that? You know, so they end up the segment like that, and then it's going to be Jay and LA Knight versus Braun and Brunson in the main event. We've seen this collection of wrestlers a billion times, and they're basically, Triple H has wasted 3+ months of Jey Uso and LA Knight's careers. They're both over. They both could be doing something much more interesting. You could have LA Knight actually winning world championships, or you could actually have him in believable situations where he's going to win. Not the same monotonous and repetitive beatdowns after an empty promo, after a beatdown, after an empty promo, after a beatdown. But Triple H has no idea how to utilize his talent, so we have to just deal with it the way that it is.
Now, guys, I hate to cut it short, but, you know, we need to get to the main part where he talks about Dom versus AJ and AJ losing the match against Dom. So we need to get to that part because, to me, that's a big discussion we need to discuss. So we're going to go ahead and jump the gun and get to that. So we're going to cut it short today, so let's go ahead and get to that part.
The Intercontinental Championship match is next. AJ Styles versus Dominik Mysterio. Obviously, the best option here was to have AJ Styles win the Intercontinental Championship. Dominik Mysterio's reign has been absolutely garbage, and it's been a dumpster fire. Nothing meaningful has happened, nothing engaging or memorable has happened, and quite frankly, he's barely been wrestling, he's barely cutting promos, and he hasn't done anything of meaning. And now you're in France, where you know AJ Styles, we literally watched them do the Phenomena. They did that for like 5 minutes straight, even throughout the commercial break, bro. And they come back and AJ Styles loses to Dominik Mysterio because El Grande Americano Ludwig Kaiser comes out there and helps a dude who was just fighting a few weeks ago at AAA. You know what I'm saying? At AAA, sorry. You know, he was just fighting Dom a few weeks ago for a championship, and now he's helping Dom retain versus AJ Styles, someone who doesn't even know who this dude is? Are you kidding me? This is the booking that Triple H has for you, man. AJ Styles is probably going to retire next year or the following year after that. He doesn't have much time left. This would have been one of the most massive moments in his entire career, and also one of the bigger moments towards the end of his career now. And you could have had it happen in France in a massive moment. You know, you can get your little social media views and engagement from your little, you know, the social media views were over 100 million. You know, you can get that happen. But no, you throw it away so you can have Dominik Mysterio retain a championship that he has done nothing with now for 5 months. I mean, this booking is absurd. This is the type of reason why it doesn't matter, because the match itself, the in-ring quality was good. It was a good match, but still, you forget about all of that because the story, the booking, and the ending is so bad that it doesn't matter that we got some good wrestling matches, man. Wow, this is real graps. Stop. We need stories. We need actual character. We need actual development. We need entertainment value. We need to have an emotional pull to these matches. And obviously, along with that, the in-ring quality needs to be good from start to finish, with an epic climax to the end of a championship match in this type of climate, with AJ Styles being in one of his final years as a professional wrestler. That is what we need. I'm so tired of hearing people talking about this match had great in-ring performance. The in-ring wrestling, the psychology, the in-ring. Stop talking to me about in-ring. If the match had good in-ring moments, but the ending sucked, the climax sucked, the story sucked, and the finish wasn't good, and on top of that, the story and the build to it wasn't good, stop telling me about the in-ring performance being cool or about its real graps. I don't care about that garbage, man. Nobody says just stop, man. Goodness gracious, bro. Good grief, man. It's so annoying seeing all this stuff. But anyways, AJ Styles loses to Dominik Mysterio, and it's just absolutely embarrassing. I thought this was an awful booking decision, and it ruined basically the whole entire show. I mean, the show was already garbage before, but now it's just absolutely horrendous.
Now, although we are upset that Dominik Mysterio didn't lose the belt, I do have a reason why he retained the belt. Shout out to Leo. I was just talking to him today, and he explained why he retained the title. And here's his reason. Well, I got 2 reasons. So I'm going to play the first one, and then I'm going to play the second one. So let's start with the first one of why Dominik Mysterio retained.
I don't think they're gonna give AJ another shot at the title. I don't know if they're gonna set something up to where they might do AJ and El Grande Americano. I'm not sure. I feel like based on what they're doing, if they're not gonna do something like Penta, which we already kind of seen them do that, and they already had AJ. They might bring back Ilya Dragunov. Ilya Dragunov might be the one to take the title from Dom if he's gonna come back as like a face or something like that. Or they might do one more match maybe at WrestlePalooza where it's like no interference or anything like that. And if he does, like maybe he gets stripped of the title. That's the only way I can see them doing Dom and AJ again. There will have to be some type of stipulation around that. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. But I think they might do Ilya Dragunov. I was thinking in the back of my head, maybe they could do Jimmy Uso now that he's on Raw, but I think they're going to probably have Jimmy and Jay team up again and be like a tag team because I think there were reports that they were going to put the Usos back together. So that looks like that might be coming to fruition, but I think it's kind of uncertain or up in the air as far as who's taking the title from Dom because you could circle back to maybe a Penta. You could circle back to like a Dom, like Dom and AJ. You could maybe pull a swerve at some point, maybe have a Grande Americano win it. You could have Finn Balor win it, depending on when they decide to want to do the turn. I think that's kind of a possibility as well, so we'll just have to see. But right now, I think the reason why they had him retained because they want that visual of Dom holding the IC and the AAA title. Then maybe after that, we can kind of see the downfall of him as champion.
All right, so the second audio, I brung up the fact that people were upset at the fact that he retained his title, and this is how he responded.
I mean, I get fans are upset about AJ not winning. I mean, but you got to understand, WWE is all about making moments, right? And there's no bigger moment or visual, in my personal opinion, than having Dom with the AAA title and the Intercontinental Championship because nobody can say they have done that. That is going to create buzz. That is going to create headlines. That's what WWE wants. They want to create headlines, and they're going to do that by having him win the AAA title. But at the same time, seeing how things played out, is there a possibility Dominik gets screwed again? Possibly, because we did see El Grande Americano interfere to help Dominik and by screwing over AJ. So it's a possibility, maybe, for example, maybe we do get Dominik and Vikingo. And it looks like Dominik might have it won again, only or whatever, with the help of potentially like El Grande, and pretty much AJ comes out, screws him over again by distracting him or whatever the case is. Hopefully that's not the case. Just go ahead and just give Dom the title and then go from there.
Well, the fans voted that, he deserved a rematch. Oh, damn it. I did a typo again. Doggone it. I meant to say rematch. I meant to put on the option was that he deserved a rematch. I don't know why I said deserves a match. But y'all get the point. People voted that he deserves a rematch, and it said, I even asked, does AJ, do you think AJ should have won? And they all said yes. So I do think that AJ deserves a rematch. He only had 2 matches with Dominik Mysterio. The least they could do is try to make that up. So if they could do it at WrestlePalooza, that would be good. Just so he could get that last round, especially on at a PLE that they call it's going to be a big PLE. So I'm like, all right, if you're going to do that, then why won't you, book Dom versus AJ at WrestlePalooza and have AJ win the belt? Instead of just playing around and just have him retain, there's no purpose. What are you trying to do? Like, have him retain it so that way Liv Morgan can come back and see him as double champ? It's not going to work. Okay, and it's not going to happen. When Liv comes back, he ain't going to have nothing but the clothes on his back. That's the only thing he going to have. But I do want to see him as double champ. At least to have something to claim that his uncles and his father couldn't do, and that's to be double champion. So, honestly, especially from a different promotion. You know, him winning that from a different promotion is good. You know what I'm saying? So, again, we have to, like, you know, just accept the fact that this is what they want to do. And if this is what they want to do, then that's what they're going to do. I mean, look, we don't have to support it, but if they want Dominik Mysterio as double champion, I can't be mad at that. I mean, if it happens, it happens. But, Dom, please don't wear that Liv Morgan shirt. Please don't. All right? If you're going to win that belt, please don't wear the Liv Morgan shirt for good luck, because it's not good luck. Okay? Wear your shirt. Okay, if you can wear your shirt, I promise you, you will win. But if you win that shirt, but if you win that title and you got that Liv Morgan shirt, I promise you, bad luck will come your way. Because having a Liv Morgan shirt is not good luck; it's bad luck. Okay, so don't even get that through your mind. All right, you supporting Liv Morgan is bad luck. All right, and at some point you're gonna realize that. All right, it's bad enough that she won't show support to her own best friend and that she called her sister Raquel. But you know what I mean? But then, well, we're going to talk about that in a different video. But the main thing is that, you know, Dom retained the belt, and because they want him to become double champion. And if that's the case, then let it be. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll see his downfall after that. We'll just hope that AJ be part of it. So if it becomes somebody else, that's fine. But I don't think AJ is going to stop until he get that belt, because if they could just spin back around other people, then I'm pretty sure they're going to spin back around for those two. So it's going to happen. But I mean, I believe it will happen, because I don't see AJ running away that easily, especially when El Grande cost him the match. So I do believe it's going to happen. And when it does happen, there's nothing you can do but just let it happen. So, AJ might get his rebound, and when he does get it, we just have to, you know, be patient. But hopefully he gets this round at the, you know, WrestlePalooza. But you just hope to God that you just better hope to God that he, you know, he wins that belt. But if he don't, there's no hope. You know, there's no hope for AJ. But hopefully he does, because a lot of fans are upset, and he needs that dub. So hopefully he'll get it. But we'll talk more about it in the next video, but I'm just glad that CJAX is totally against it like us. So, I'm not totally against it. I'm just shocked that they let him retain, but I had a funny feeling that they were going to let him retain. I don't know the reason, but now I know, so let it be. You know what I'm saying? Let it be. But y'all comment down below. Let me know how y'all feel about that. We're going to go ahead and continue with the video, because he's going to start talking about the Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch segment with CM Punk. And I'm going to put some titles on the video so that way I can show you how this is similar to the Judgment Day. So let's continue.
Then we move on to Becky Lynch and CM Punk. CM Punk basically gets on the mic and says he's going to sit here and wait all night if he has to for Seth Rollins to come down to the ring, because their war is never going to end until he gets what he wants, which is that World Heavyweight Championship, okay? Becky Lynch then comes out to Seth Rollins' music. Becky Lynch proceeds to lie multiple times and say absolutely nothing. This is what I mean when I say that it's not, because people will classify, right? If you have a segment that wasn't entertaining and wasn't good and people don't like it, they'll say, oh, she's doing great heel work. It's not heel work, it's bad content. You get what I'm saying? Becky Lynch comes out and basically says that for years, it didn't just affect Seth Rollins, it didn't just affect other people, it affected me, because they were chanting your name during my matches, which, no, they weren't. They were not chanting CM Punk's name during Becky Lynch's matches more than maybe one time, if that even happened. Can someone please show me when that was taking place? I can't tell you one time that CM Punk was chanted, his name was chanted during a Becky Lynch match.
I can't even tell you a time where people were cheering for Liv and Dom. And and people making designs of Liv and Dom, but I'm like, y'all can't even cheer their name when they come out. So what we doing here? It's all a publicity stunt. Everything he's saying about Becky Lynch is how I feel about Liv Morgan. It's similar.
They're just openly lying. Becky Lynch said that they were chanting your name during my matches for years. It's a lie. That never happened. So going out there and lying and saying nothing of substance, talking about how Seth Rollins is my hot husband, he's jacked, he's hot, he's amazing, and he's a world champion. I'm like, CM Punk's world championship reigns from over a decade ago are more memorable than any world championship reign that Seth Rollins has ever had. And this is coming from someone who likes Seth Rollins. Seth is one of my favorite wrestlers, but you cannot sit here with a straight face and tell me that CM Punk has has not been a better champion than Seth Rollins. You'd be lying to yourself. I mean, it just is what it is. Seth Rollins, I don't even know what to say about this guy at this point. CM Punk then brings up a good point. He says they chant for me whether I have.
Bro, can you imagine if Liv Morgan said the same things that Becky Lynch was saying to CM Punk tonight? Oh my God, you just lost your babyface cool points. Back to being heel. Well, actually, you are a heel. It's just the fans look at you like you a babyface, even though you're not. You're a tweener because you're getting cheered from the crowd, but you're supposed to be a heel. So come on, man, cut it out, bro. Stop it. Stop the cap.
Have the championship or don't have it, whether I'm in the ring or whether I'm in catering or whether I'm in the company or not in the company, they chant my name regardless because they acknowledge that I'm the best in the world. Seth Rollins, on the other hand, him and you weren't even on live events. That's what he tells to Becky Lynch because he's the actual workhorse while Rollins and Becky, the alleged workhorses, are not even on the live events. And then he tells Becky Lynch that she married a bum in Seth Rollins and he wants him to know that. And then he calls him a paper champ. Becky Lynch then basically says a bunch of nonsense, basically saying like, oh, well, you know, your wife doesn't even work here anymore, and the French crowd is just sick of it at this point. They're just chanting shut the you know what up, and they're saying shut up, and they're chanting AJ Lee, AJ Lee. And then afterwards, Seth Rollins comes out and says, if you have something to say to me, Punk, come say it to my face. Then Becky Lynch blocks him. Punk can't leave. Becky then slaps him in the face like 8 times and like embarrasses him, pushes his face, slaps him in the chest, etc., calls him a bum, all these names. And then CM Punk basically has to leave because obviously he's not going to fight back. But before he leaves, he tells her, your husband's going to regret cashing in on me and you're going to regret laying your hands on me. Okay? And that is basically how it ends, obviously leaving room for AJ Lee to potentially come back. And that's basically it.
Hey guys, somebody made this photo right here, and this shit hard. I ain't gonna lie. But I doubt, even though I doubt this is going to happen, I think this is pretty cold. Y'all comment down below. Let me know what y'all think about this banner right here, or this poster. It's pretty dope. Let's continue.
And we ended the show as predicted with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker absolutely just for destroying Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, or sorry, not Jey and Jimmy, beating LA Knight and Jey Uso in the tag match. Jey Uso and LA Knight were at 50%, so there's no reason they're going to win this match. But on top of that, why would they even go up for this match in the first place? What would this have proved if they got the win? Absolutely nothing. Jimmy Uso then comes out after Jey Uso gets beat up to help him out. Like, it's... The logic, again, it makes no sense. Why would his own brother come out late, to help him? Where was Jimmy Uso yesterday during Clash in Paris? Where was he? Him and Sami Zayn were back there. They're part of the bloodline, right? Sami Uso, Jimmy Uso. And when Roman and Jey Uso were getting beat up in that ring by 2 people, they didn't show up to help them at all. But now that it's convenient, all of a sudden Jimmy Uso shows up to now be added as the next undercarder / mid-carder to fight against Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. It's stupid. It's dumb. This episode of Raw is getting a solid 2 out of 10 for me, and that's as simple as that. Thank you guys for watching. Have a phenomenal day. Peace out, and I'm done with this garbage episode. One love.
Yeah. So, anyway, y'all comment down below. Let me know what are your reaction due to Dom retaining the title, and do you think AJ deserves a rematch? Because people voted and said that he deserves a rematch, but the question is, will he beat Dominik Mysterio? Because if they're gonna treat AJ like LA Knight, then I don't know what to tell you. But let's just hope that he'll get another rematch at WrestlePalooza. So, but as per Io Sky and Steffi Valkyrie, I wasn't able to talk about it in the beginning of the video, but however, let's talk about it now. People voted that Stephanie is going to win, but I don't know because I don't trust this booking. Last time we see these two in the ring, there was an interference, and the main thing we want is no interference. So all I'm going to tell you this right now, if it ends with a disqualification or interference, I'm telling you right now, that's the prediction. And if it happens, man, here comes a fatal 4-way. Here comes a triple threat. I mean, it's just going to suck. But hopefully Stephanie scored a dub. But if Io Sky wins, I won't be surprised because, at least we'll have a story to tell, right? Because Roxanne wants a title shot, even though I don't agree that she should get she shouldn't be going anywhere near the women's world title, especially when she haven't earned it with all these losses she's been taking. But however, Rhea did say she wants to go after the belt, but I think she wants to go after it when Io Sky wins it. And Asuka might want to go after it too. You know what I mean? And I don't know when Raquel gonna go after it, because that's a shame that she's by Roxanne's corner and she don't even want to challenge for the belt. That's ridiculous. But they say next year, but I think she should do it right now. But I think her beefing with Liv Morgan will probably be the encouragement of it, and say, you know what? Liv is going after that belt. I need to go after that belt. So, because if she take that belt, then what am I here for? You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, that will be the encouragement. But until then, we just have to let this play out. But I don't believe Roxanne deserves, in my opinion, I don't think Roxanne deserves that title. I don't. She hasn't earned it. She hasn't worked for it. She hasn't done anything to get it. Hasn't done nothing to do it. To go after it. So all these damn losses you're taking, there's really no purpose. But hey, whatever. The world title is getting some opportunity, but Naomi should have never left. That's just what I'm going to say. But y'all comment down below and give me your thoughts down below about this. Get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. And by the way, I got some more videos coming out, so this ain't the only video. I got to work on the Judgment Day video, and I got to work on the AEW videos, because I wasn't able to do it. Because I was busy, during the weekend, so of August. So I'm going to go ahead and drop those real quick, and you'll be expecting them in the morning. So get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you do, and I'll catch y'all in the next videos. All right, I'm out.